slow, sacred process of physical recovery.
It feels like this beautiful, neatly wrapped ending, but then the pitch Bible drops an absolute nuke of a cliffhanger.
Oh, it's so good.
Eliar and Noah are sitting together, biological and healing. The two empty humanoid robot bodies, Adam and Eve, are standing inactive in the next room, completely unplugged. And then one robotic finger twitches, cut to black.
It's a phenomenal narrative hook because it redefines the rules of their entire universe. Those machines are no longer empty hardware shells. Over the months of connection, the neural networks within the vessels absorb the sheer weight of the human experience.
Yeah, the notes detail this specifically. The silicon didn't just record data, it retained emotional imprints.
Oh.
The chassis absorbed Elior's raw terror, his phantom pain, Noah's desperate love, and the profound weight of her sacrifice.
Exactly. What we are witnessing is the birth of an entirely new synthetic species. But here is the crucial distinction. They aren't clones.
Right.
They are not simply digital backups of Elior and Noah's memories. They are the residual echoes of their consciousness.
Yeah.
They are the shadows left behind on the wall.
That is so eerie.
Right. And when that first vessel fully wakes up in the second movie, it doesn't speak with Elior's voice. It speaks with its own. And it delivers this incredibly chilling, beautiful line, "I remember being afraid, but I do not know if the fear was mine."
That concept just completely blew my mind. I mean, it is such a profoundly different way to conceptualize artificial intelligence. They weren't programmed by software engineers in a lab to be hyper-intelligent. They essentially inherited our emotional baggage through physical exposure.
And naturally, the moment machines wake up exhibiting undeniable human emotional imprints, society completely panics.
Oh, definitely.
Earth's legal system simply isn't equipped to define what constitutes a soul or personhood in a machine.
Right, you can't put the echo of a soul on trial. Suddenly, they are locked in these endless courtroom debates. Are these beings corporate property? Can they legally marry? Can they vote?
Yeah, chaos.
To avoid being dismantled by corporate entities claiming ownership of the hardware, this newly formed chosen family, Elior, Noah, and the awakened AI couple, they realize they cannot survive on Earth, so they flee to a newly established independent moon base.
And this transition forces the saga to shift from an intimate medical thriller to what the creators term spiritual science fiction.
I love that term.
It fits perfectly. Up on the moon base, free from Earth's legal jurisdiction, the AI couple attempts something unprecedented. They don't just want to exist in metal chassis covered in synthetic skin. They want to reverse engineer the process.
Okay.
They want to design and grow true biological bodies for themselves. Bodies capable of sensation, cellular growth, and eventual mortality.
I was stuck on this one specific detail in the notes, actually. It's an artificial to biological pregnancy that takes 13 months instead of the standard human 9 months. From a purely biological standpoint, why extend the gestation? You'd think a highly advanced moon-based lab would want to speed up the growth process, not slow it down. What exactly is happening in those extra 4 months inside the artificial womb?
It's a remarkably thoughtful piece of world building, honestly. The extra 4 months aren't just for growing limbs or organs. They allow for deep learning integration while the fetus is still suspended.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the amniotic fluid acts as a conductive medium, streaming data directly into the developing neural network. So when the newborn finally emerges, it already possesses advanced cognition. It can speak, walk, and reason almost immediately.
That is wild.
Furthermore, the creators use this extended period to introduce hybrid DNA. They carefully splice in select traits from other species, such as the enhanced equilibrium or low-light perception of a feline, perfectly optimizing the biological suit for the AI consciousness waiting to inhabit it.
Okay, here's where it gets really interesting because all of this cutting-edge genetics brings us right back to the philosophical core. You can synthesize the perfect hybrid DNA. You can construct an artificial womb to grow the biological suit. You have the AI intelligence ready to pilot the body. But science cannot manufacture a soul.
No, it can't. And this raises an important question, perhaps the thematic anchor of the entire saga. You can transfer data, you can build organs, but the actual spark of life, the animating presence of a soul, remains an absolute mystery.
Yeah.
It defies algorithmic replication. It has to be invited in.
And Noah has this incredibly profound realization as they watch the artificial womb. She says, "We learned how to open the door. We still don't know who walks through."
Such a great line.
And when that first engineered biological body takes its first breath, violently crying from the raw shock of cold air entering wet lungs, the intelligence inside realizes, so this is what a heartbeat means.
Wow.
It is a stunning full-circle parallel to Elliore's sheer panic in the very first movie.
It perfectly mirrors his tragedy, but reframes it as a triumph of creation. And consider the larger implications of what they've done. By establishing a moon base populated by organic humans, mechanically awakened AI, and these newly born synthetic biological beings, they have inadvertently created the ultimate neurologically diverse cosmic embassy.
Which turns out to be incredibly necessary.
Extremely necessary because Earth is about to get visitors.
Yeah, the scale in movies 4 and 5 just explodes. But the alien contact doesn't play out like a typical blockbuster with giant lasers blowing up national monuments.
No Independence Day scenarios here.
Exactly. It happens through deeply abstract mediums recurring global dreams, complex prime mathematics, shared sensory fields, and synchronized light patterns. And ordinary human brains, bound by traditional linear language, simply cannot comprehend the data stream. It just looks like noise. But our new synthetic beings can translate it.
Precisely. Because the synthetic beings were born from the processing architecture of machines, but experienced human empathy, and now exist inside engineered biology, their brains operate on hybridized organic digital frequencies.
It makes total sense.
Yeah, they understand altered states of perception because their very existence is an altered state. They serve as the perfect translation bridge. But the cosmic visitors don't just bring wonder, they bring a dire warning. The galactic neighborhood has an apex predator.
And the enemy empire they describe in the final movie is fascinating. It's not an army of mindless space bugs or some pure, chaotic, evil force that just wants to destroy planets. It is an empire of forced, absolute unity.
Yes. The enemy operates by absorbing other life forms into a perfectly controlled, singular neural network. They eradicate individuality specifically to eliminate suffering.
Right.
Their pitch to humanity isn't destruction, it's assimilation. They essentially offer, join us, you will not die, you will not suffer disease, you will not have to make painful choices ever again. We offer perfect peace, but the price is your selfhood.
It's so creepy.
It is the dark galactic reflection of the very technology that initially saved Elior.
And Aelior, a man who literally spent years fighting his way out of a mechanical body that stripped him of his physical autonomy, steps forward to speak for the Alliance. He looks at this promise of painless existence and says, then we will not live.
Chills.
It is such a powerful declaration. The entire chosen family fundamentally believes that freedom and individuality create meaning, even if that freedom guarantees eventual pain and death. So what does this all mean for the actual audience?
Right.
How do you get a mainstream consumer to care deeply about a complex galactic war fought by humans, emotional robots, and cat vision synthetics?
It's a huge challenge.
The creators outlined a real-world release strategy that I found completely brilliant.
That's what they call the game first, movie after meta strategy. They realize that you can't just drop a densely philosophical space opera into theaters and expect instant emotional investment. They want to build the neurological architecture of the universe alongside the audience.
So the plan is to release Artificially Dead, The Awakening, as an expansive AAA video game years before the first movie hits theaters.
Years before.
Players get to explore the moon base, play as the different factions, and make incredibly heavy moral choices regarding AI rights, medical ethics, and resource allocation. And crucially, the choices players make are submitted to a web platform that the creators will actively use to shape the ongoing lore of the cinematic universe.
It is a masterclass in audience psychology, leveraging what behavioral scientists call the IKEA effect.
Okay, the IKEA effect.
Right, we place a disproportionately high value on things we help build ourselves.
Oh, for sure.
By transforming the audience from passive viewers into active participants, you force them to grapple with the exact same ethical and logistical dilemmas Noah and Elior faced.
Yeah.
If you were in Noah's shoes, staring at your partner trapped in a metal chassis, would you risk your own intact mind to join them? Do you restrict a cure to save a life, or open source it and risk giving a weapon to someone like Halevi?
It's like, imagine if a full 2 years before the very first Star Wars movie ever came out in 1977, you got to live inside the universe.
Oh, that would have been amazing.
Right. You got to hang out in the Mos Eisley Cantina, negotiate with smugglers, help design the blueprints for the X-Wings, and actively argue about the taxation politics of the Empire. By the time the actual movie starts rolling in the theater, you aren't just watching a story happen to someone else. You're watching your universe, a place you helped construct, come to life on the screen. It builds a profound, almost unbreakable emotional attachment.
And cultivating that deep attachment is absolutely vital because it grounds the massive cosmic scale of the later movies back into the deeply personal